My name is Colleen. I'm standing outside the Jefferson County Courthouse, a folder in my hand and a genuine smile on my face. The divorce is finally finalized after 11 long months since that fateful dinner. No more threats, no more backroom deals. I've received a fair share of our assets, including half the value of the house he tried to hide, our long-term investments, and most importantly, full control of my own bank account that was secretly monitored for years. It all started with what seemed like a perfect marriage. Nearly 15 years ago, I married Ethan Reed. He was a well-known corporate lawyer in the city, charming, intelligent, and from a wealthy family. My parents, who were hard-working middle-class folks, were over the moon when I told them about our engagement. My father, a kind-hearted but somewhat old-fashioned man, said, "Colleen, you've landed a catch. Ethan's family has so much influence, and he's going places." My mother, a gentle soul, added, "He'll take good care of you, dear." We lived in a beautiful mansion in the suburbs of Seattle. I worked as a manager in a local hospital, a job that was both challenging and rewarding. Ethan was always busy at his law firm, handling high-profile cases. To the outside world, we were the picture of a perfect couple. In the early years, I believed his every word. His suggestions about my clothes, my friends, and my work seemed like signs of his concern. "That outfit isn't very professional. Try the black one," he'd say. Or, "Your friend Lisa is too wild. Maybe you should keep your distance." Slowly but surely, I started to doubt my own judgment. I stopped wearing the bright colors I loved, stopped hanging out with my old friends, and even changed my work style to meet his expectations. We never had children. Every time I brought it up, Ethan would come up with excuses. "Not now, Colleen. We need to focus on our careers. And having a child would be a huge financial burden." He'd give me a cold kiss and make me feel like I was being unreasonable. Then one rainy Friday afternoon, everything changed. I left the hospital early with a splitting headache. I didn't call Ethan. I just wanted to go home and rest. When I got home, his car was already in the garage. The front door was unlocked, which was unusual. As I walked upstairs, I heard a woman's laugh and Ethan's voice. "You're driving me crazy, Stella," he said. Stella was his new legal assistant, young, beautiful, and always flirting with him at firm events. I peeked through the crack in the door and saw them in bed together. It was a scene I never wanted to witness. I stepped back, feeling numb. I walked out to the backyard, the rain soaking me to the bone. I cried, not just because of his infidelity, but because I had doubted myself for so long. I realized that all those strange things I noticed about his schedule, the unfamiliar perfume on his shirt, were not just my imagination. That night, I drove to my college friend, Ava's place. Ava was a feisty nurse who worked at the same hospital. She opened the door and simply said, "It's about time you got out of there." I collapsed on her couch, silent for a long time. The next day, I took 3 days off work. Ava referred me to a divorce lawyer, Mr. Thompson, who specialized in complex property and financial cases. When I told him everything, from Ethan's control to his affair and hidden finances, he wasn't shocked. He advised me to gather evidence quietly. I went back to the house one evening when Ethan was at work. I found a revised prenuptial agreement on his computer that would have given me almost nothing in case of a divorce. I also discovered a spreadsheet with detailed logs of my activities and spyware on my phone that was forwarding my messages and calls to his other email. I found hidden bank accounts and transferred all the evidence to Mr. Thompson. I planned a dinner at a fancy restaurant, the Grand View, where Ethan had hosted important clients before. I invited Ethan, Stella, his mother, my cousin Lucy, Ava, and Mr. Harris, Ethan's former father-in-law. I told each of them a believable story to get them there. On the night of the dinner, when they walked into the private room and saw everyone, Ethan's face turned pale. I stood up and started to expose all his wrongdoings. I showed the bank statements, the spyware logs, and the emails between him and Stella. His mother was shocked and angry. Mr. Harris also revealed that Ethan had been controlling and manipulative in his first marriage. Ethan tried to deny everything, but no one believed him. I presented the divorce terms, a fair division of assets, removal of the surveillance software, and his signed admission of infidelity. I also threatened to expose his unethical behavior in a liver transplant case he had interfered with if he didn't agree. In the end, Ethan had no choice but to sign. Stella was fired from the law firm, and Ethan's reputation in the legal world was severely damaged. He took a low-paying consulting job. Now, I've moved into a cozy apartment with a view of the city. I've gone back to my old hobbies like painting. I've reconnected with my old friends, and I've even met a new man, Ryan, a teacher. He's kind, gentle, and makes me feel like I can be myself again. I've learned that freedom isn't something that's given. It's something you have to fight for. I claimed my freedom with evidence, dignity, and truth, and I'll never let anyone control me again.